In today's event, we are diving into the topic of intelligent testing for rare diseases with an emphasis on technologies like artificial intelligence that can aid this process.
More recently, there's been a lot of emphasis and a lot of buzz around deep learning, which is, again, a circle within machine learning. And that's the idea that we take layers and these different layers extract more sophisticated or precise information as you go down in the layers. So a classic example in genetics that happens is, let's say we're using deep learning to help diagnose patients who might have a genetic condition. So we train a computer to be able to recognize that from images of different people.
In my opinion, we must have a common international terminology, not only about the genes, but on the variants, but on the clinical phenotypes as well as for symptoms and diagnosis. And many of these diagnosed rare diseases don't even have a name. So there should be an organization, a worldwide organization like OrphaNet or the WHO or some other organization who is responsible for the governance of giving names to diseases and of putting symptoms and genes to the disease.
And I'm not sure if we have to look for specific names, because from my point of view, a name is just a name. If the name is not able to embed information, it's not useful. Let me give you an example. In astrology or astronomy, the astronomers are naming the stars with coordinates, because the coordinate and the naming is giving information. If we name conditions like rabbit, red, Lennox-Gastaut, down, it's useless for a computer. The computer is not able to process this. You know what I mean? So, and I'm wondering if in the new way we are naming medicines, the medicines should be a new methodology to process this information and add information into the name, But I'm not sure the best way to do it, to be honest.
I think that patients should also be included in the research. So we should have patient-inclusive research, which is something that is starting to happen, but it's not so common. And also, I think that we need to educate both sides. So researchers, because from my experience as a researcher for the first part of my scientific path, we didn't have many contact with the patients, so it was all very impersonal, and we were in the lab and we did not have any feedback from them. And now working with the patient association is completely different, and we had many projects that were led by the patients, and we actually discovered things that were new and were not known by the researchers. So the patients have a lot of information, and that sometimes they are not even aware of that, and the researchers are not also aware of that. So I think that we need to create these synergies between the patients and the patient organizations and the researchers, and put everyone in contact and talking so they can share their symptoms and what is important for them, and researchers can learn and have that learn with their experience, and then incorporate that knowledge in the research. So I think that definitely the first step that needs to be taken in that sense.